Samuel's very excited for the event store. See, here's the thing, and I was talking about this with some other people earlier too. It always feels like when it's an event store month, they just kind of phone it in. They're like, oh, people will be excited. We got an event store. We don't really have to try very hard, right? Just give them some stupid events that let them get currency, let them pick whatever the hell they want, and we'll figure something better out for May. And it always seems like whatever else is going on in an event store month is usually pretty mediocre. Now, again, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but Titan A kind of underwhelming so far. New officers kind of underwhelming so far. So there you are at face value. 7 of 9, new fleet commander, but pay only. Like again, I didn't buy a Locutus because fleet commanders to me don't make that big of a difference, that big of an impact that I'm going to keep flip-flopping and switching between them and remembering to do it. Half the time, most of us don't remember to pop exocomps for things. We're going to remember every 4 hours or whatever it is, 6 hours, that we can switch our fleet commanders around for whatever the thing we happen to be doing at that moment. No, probably not. When you get to 40 and you can have 2 of them, okay, yeah, maybe you'll pay a little more attention to it and play around with it a little bit more. But considering how long it takes that building to upgrade, that's also a problem there too. So. Event store is always nice. Yep. It's a great arc from a spending perspective. Yes, a lot of the things in this arc definitely seem like they are pay to play kind of stuff. You know, if you're paying, if you want the new stuff or you want this or you want that, it's pay to play. If you want the event store, well, here's some currency and you can pick something. So, truck driver's normal mode. Okay, all right. Well, they phone it in. You run out of mats. Captain Taylor doesn't enjoy event store months for that reason. Okay. And looking at the calendar and listening to what DJ was saying this morning, there are actually 4 auctions every weekend in the month of April. There is a resource auction event. 2 of them are for the new Epic Riker, and 2 of them are for the new Epic Worf. The arc will actually be over before the last one, which is the second Worf auction. That'll take place in the week between arcs. But yeah, all 4 weekends in the month of April have material spend events. Fleet Commander was meh, to be honest. Truly something people are going to want. They make it pay content. That's definitely true. If it's something that they've realized that they think that they can sell, they're going to sell it first. And then, 6 to 12 months later, they'll create a method for people to get it for free, usually. Or they'll do like they did here with the Titan, and they also did previously with the Defiant, which is they'll put the path in play on day 1, but they'll make it seem like it's really far away to make you want to spend to not wait. You can go right here in your refinery right now, and you can go to, nope, where is, oh, not refinery. Go to your faction store right now, go to your X-Borg, and you can buy a Titan A blueprint for 120 of these X-Borg credits. Depending on where you are with this particular faction, you're going to get between like 400 and like 750 a day. So 120 is going to set you back slightly in terms of completing additional research. And it's going to take you just over 3 months to actually get the ship for free. So you're kind of sacrificing in 2 areas, because it's going to take you 3.5 months, 3.25 months to get the ship for free. Plus, it's also going to slow down your ability to get the other research, which is designed to frustrate you into being like, well, I don't want to lose out on the research. So I'll just, it's actually faster if I just buy the Titan now, and then I can just keep doing the research. Yeah, that's what they want. Or at least you'll buy half the ship, right? You'll be like, look, if I don't buy the ship, then it's basically, sometime in early July, I'll have the ship for free. Well, I don't want to wait till July for it. I'm going to miss out on all the stuff. Well, what if I just buy the ship? Then it's only like 6 weeks away, right? 6, 7 weeks, 7 weeks. I could get the rest of the blueprints in 7 weeks. That puts us into like mid to late April. Okay, I think I could manage that. All right, yeah. Or mid to late May. Well, that's a lot better than mid July. Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll just spend $50 and just get the half unlock, which is what a lot of people did with the Defiant because they didn't want to wait 6 months. For the Defiant was worse because the sourcing for that, depending on what ops level you are, was even worse. My free to play account still doesn't have a Defiant just because of the cycles and things of getting those tokens because it's only level 38. So I can't do the bigger armadas to get more of the tokens to open more of the chests faster. So I think I'm only like halfway there. So it is definitely way quicker than the Defiant for sure. So do you think it's worth doing it early though? I feel like we have had enough buff ships. I agree. Me personally, no. Me personally, I don't even know if I even want this stupid ship to begin with. It's a nice buff. It adds a few things. The fact that it's more of a universal buff, so that we don't have to, you're getting more value for what your currency and stuff is, but it's also, going to take you time to do all the research and stuff that you have to do with it. Because you can't start doing the research until you start getting the materials, and you can't start getting the materials until you buy the ship and unlock it. So you've got to get the ship, unlock it, then start doing the research. So then it's probably another month or two after you get the ship before you get the actual research done. Because without the researches, like the Cerritos, you're just getting a very generic buff, which is 25% more critical hit damage or something stupid like that. So it's until you actually get the ship and get the materials yourself, and then you can start doing all of these different boosts in here, where you start adding things like against extra shields against hostiles or shields against players. One of these is extra. Well, this negates the Mantis Sting a little bit. More shield health restored. Now, the shield health one, apparently they coded differently this time around, so it actually works, unlike the Cerritos one, which doesn't. And some of these other ones here where you get extra weapons and extra shots and things. So, I mean, the early ones, minor 15% more base damage. 15% more weapon damage? Like, really? Like, that's why I'm getting the ship and getting this buff to get 15% more damage? When I already have things that add hundreds or thousands. You're selling a prime that gives 300% more damage, or I can get 15%, 20, and then slowly grind and scale this thing up to where I'm all the way done. I get 150% damage. Like, compared to everything else that you've done, if I want 15% more weapon damage, don't I just need to like upgrade my mess hall? Yeah, upgrade my mess hall 2 levels. I get 15% more weapon damage. Or get the Titan and upgrade it and to do this research. No. Like, I'm not seeing the wow factor in the research and things like that. Oh, you get a little more crit chance, you get a little more of this. But it applies to all of your ships, so it'll help them, and you won't have to use as much currency as you would with the regular Cerritos or things like that. Sure. 6 to 12 months from now, after I unlock the ship, do the refineries, start getting more than just the first tier of the researches, to start moving them up, maybe I'll see some type of value improvement. But that's, again, that's 2024 problems. So is the Titan going to be strong across the board as the Defiant? No. The Titan is the Cerritos 2.0. It has very little value outside of buffing things. It has, and in fact, you can even see it if you go look at the ships. Well, let's go look. Let's just go right here. Look at our standard explorers. So here's your Titan A. My Titan A right now would start out at 2.8 million strength. But just look at attack, defense, health. Base attack 746, defense 450, health 2 million. DPR 556k. Go look at the Cerritos. Similar looking stats, base DPR 600K. Look at USS Enterprise, base DPR 732,000. So both ships, while classified as 4-star epics, are weaker than the G3 Enterprise. So you're not going to use it for combat. It's not going to be a combat ship for you. A G3 Epic Enterprise is better than these G4 hybrid Cerritos Titan ships in terms of actual damage and combat and fighting stuff. So don't think you're getting anything out of it from those things. All you are getting out of this are the buff mechanics. Defiant is a good PvP ship. Defiant is a great ship. You look at the Defiant. You look at the details. Look at the DPR, 760,000 per round. Again, this is comparable to what we were seeing, what we just saw with the Enterprise, whereas the Cerritos was the Titan was 550 and the Cerritos was 600 was the starting DPR. The Defiant goes right past them. 150,000 more damage right out of the box. Defiant is a ship that has more uses, more practical uses. Talios, DPR, 1.52 million. Hello. Double all those other ships. Talios, more than just a one-trick pony ship. Has a lot more going for it. Worth investing time and money into. Worth getting and possibly spending money for to unlock faster. Because of the things, the values, not now, because you can get the Talios for free. As long as you have the Tier 9 Vidar and you're Ops 35, you just do the missions and here you go, free Talios. But, these two ships, upon release, you could see the inherent value in them. I'm going to use them for more things than just the Titan. I can't say Titan? You son of a... That's cruel. Nice of you to stop by, though. That's cool. I guess I should be flattered that you have 5,000 channel points. I didn't think you were here that often. All right. We'll do it for 5 minutes. Ready to go. So new ship. Not that you must just be quiet. Sometimes maybe you're lurking in the background sometimes, and I just don't know it. Sometimes you're here and you chat and you talk about all kinds of things, and we have some good times. Don't get me wrong about that. And I appreciate you being here, the support. Don't mistake that for any reason. But 5,000 channel points seems like a lot to get to. No, Ace, we're not in sing mode. Rev banned me from using the word that would be the name of the new ship that was released this arc. So for 5 minutes, I can't say that word. Rev stalking you, Carl. I understand that. I can see that. You get around a lot, so. But, so, new ship, not nearly as good as compared to other ships released in this similar vein. So, in terms of should I buy it day one, I'm not convinced why you need to. So, if you're talking about like what else is even in the pack that it comes with, nothing. It's just the ship blueprints, really, and a little bit of resources, which is probably what you need to actually build it, and some latinum, because, well, they always give you latinum. And in terms of doing the half unlock, again, you don't even get the stuff to build it. You just get 50 of the 100 blueprints. So again, you're saving yourself time. You're saving yourself 7 weeks by doing the half unlock. Otherwise, see you in July, which I think is where I will probably be if I even do that, because the research, if you're getting 600 to 700 credits per day and you're giving up 120 of them, that's going to slow you down on some of these things. And if you need 4,500, all right, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, let's just say I get 600 of these credits a day. 600 credits Takes me 8 days to get enough to do that. But now if I give up 120 of them, that means I only get 480. Now it's 9.5, 10 days. I just added 3 days onto my timer to unlock this research. That's three more days of me not having the benefits of this just to get more ship blueprints. For a ship I'm probably not going to use all that often. And then you start looking at some of these other ones. That's 3 or 4 more days here. That's, 3 or 4 more days for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And getting some of these other things. Some of these ones cost a lot more. Now, if I'm trying to save up, this is, instead of being 12 days, now this is suddenly like 18 to 20 days. So it is going to slow down your progression in this tree. And there's so much good research in this tree. Does Rev offer free haircuts? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. A says it's the event store currency in the bonus events that has me tempted to buy it. And that's might be where your value would come in. So if we look at our immediate here, it's only a 3-day event too, right? So you've got the build the thing right here, gets you 18,000 currency. And then you've got the upgrade the thing, which is a leaderboard event, which, how many people bought it? In my particular bracket, 1. And now that I'm over Ops 50, I'm in the whale bracket. So these are the people who should be spending money, right? Because I'm in that 50 to 60 range. And there's 1 person. Level 54. So out of all the whales who were probably on they were definitely on all day, because I can tell you right now, if I go to this testing technology event, well, here's all the people, 60, 60, 55, 60, 60. These guys were all on killing stuff today. They saw the new event, they saw the new ship, and these are the guys who buy everything, and none of them bought the Titan. Like, if that's not what's telling, yes, I did just say it, but it's over 5 minutes now. If there's anything that's telling about that, I think there's Exhibit A. This mission gave me transporter patterns. First time seeing them. Oh, well, congratulations on the transporter patterns. 2 people in your bracket on server 11 bought it. Captain Taylor says we have 3 in your bracket on server 27. So yeah, there are certainly plenty of other things going on here. And usually, when it was like the mess hall, like that leaderboard was stacked right off the bat. People wanted that. Oh, I see the value in that. I see the buffs. I will spend on this. The bonuses that it's going to give me. Those things were going pretty crazy. The fact that 1 guy, now it's actually almost more tempting, right? Because only 1 guy did it so far. It's like, well, wait a minute. I could do that, and then I could upgrade it, and then I could finish in 2nd place by default, because I'm the only other person who did it, and get 35,000 more event store currency? No. No. I don't think so. Top 1 alliance here. I think I saw 4 people buy it. Yep, 3 in your alliance. Yeah, I've gotten 2 or 3 gifts today of you can tell who bought it, because that's you're going to get the gift, which is the Titanite. Yeah, whatever this is, that's what you'll get as an alliance gift. You'll get 10 of them. So I think I have like 30 of those. So 3 people in my alliance bought it out of 80 people. And clearly nobody in the highest ops bracket. Because I guess they're looking at the same thing I was. They're looking at the buffs and going, yeah, they're not that good. Is the area of effect mechanic valuable? Absolutely. But it's not adding enough to it. It's like I'm buying this ship and that's great. I'm going to buff all of my ships plus at least 2 of my other teammates in the area. And that mechanic is very exciting. Except you're not really giving him anything. What am I giving him? I'm already getting 300, 400% extra crit damage from all these other sources and things. Now I'm getting an extra 20%. Because nobody else is going to have the research done either. And that's what it goes off of. Like the Cerritos, it goes off your own research. So if you don't have any of the research done, which you can't do until you get the ship yourself, you just get the flat baseline buff, and well, that's not very exciting. So not very exciting at all. So it might be a slow thing that you just pick up and accumulate over the next 3 months, or it might be one of those things that you just, when you're done with your research and you've got it to the point where you want it to and you feel comfortable with it, maybe then you'll start picking up some stuff. But until then, you have to decide for yourself. Excavator, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. S73, by the way, thank you for the follow earlier. I did not call that out. I want to make sure I circle back to that. Thank you for being here. Lloyd, do you agree? Not a ship worth going after? Mm-hmm. It's not. It's not terribly exciting. And to be perfectly honest, neither are the officers. We look at our new officers, and what did we get? We got cool characters. First off, before we start on officers, can I just say how disappointed I am that Raffi is not a character? She's the only character who's been in all three seasons of the show, other than Picard and Seven. Nope. 7 of 9 gets to be a fleet commander. Raffi gets ignored. Completely. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And my apologies to the actress who portrays her, because you have been wronged here. You should be represented in this video game instead of these characters that we already have multiple other versions of, or will be getting multiple other versions of as we get down the road. And you are forgotten to the wayside. And that's, that's another disappointing. Instead we get Dixon Hill. We get Picard's little fictional dress-up fantasy character. Which means what? When Voyager comes around, we're going to get Captain Proton? Well, Tom Paris, Captain Proton, those are some pretty popular episodes, so we're going to get them instead. Like, you couldn't make this Raffi and put this ability on Raffi. Laris is technically in all 3 seasons. You're right. Although Laris's role is incredibly diminished. It's more of a, almost an extra in in this season so far. Basically, has 3 lines of dialogue in the first episode. Like, oh well, you know what, Jean-Luc, you should go do that if that's what you feel is right. I'll see you when you get back. Like, there you go. Thanks, Laris. Thanks for playing. So, all more interesting characters. What would they do for Picard Week? So, very disappointing. Very disappointing indeed. And then, this whole Picard Week thing also feels weird because Picard Day is in June. It's basically right around Father's Day. At least here in the US, it's around Father's Day. Perhaps in other parts of the world, it's something different then. Dixon Hill as an officer, hey, mining speed below decks. Okay, great. That's nice. An extra 30% that you starting value. That's going to increase. Did they put the new officers in the website yet? I'm going to guess no, because Ripper's not working on it anymore, but hey. Oh, they are in there. Would you look at that? And Dixon Hill is part of the holodeck crew. Uh-oh, look out. Now we're setting up a precedent, so now we can get the Doctor to also be part of the holodeck crew in the future, right? And we'll get Captain Proton and the Doctor, and we'll form a little holo squad. I don't know who's going to be captain of this little hollow squad, but one of them could be. When defending a mining node, never going to use that. Never going to use that ability. When would you use that ability? Maybe if you were doing something with automated defenses as well. Maybe. Or if you're in a territory fight and all of your other nodes are taken and you're like, I'm just going to jump on a mining node with my sarcophagus. There you go. You can reduce his shield mitigation. Now, every round by -5%, and it does say this ability can stack. So, if you have him and Strike Team Una, you could take their shield mitigation to 0, like in the first round or two. Sure. In that unique scenario, you could. You could. Put them both on a battleship. Put the other Picard as a captain, so that way he boosts their abilities. And by the end of the first round, there you go. Maybe they won't have any, or Pike rather, because Pike might actually be better. But this one down here, improving base mining speed. As this scales up, yeah, this is a decent bonus. I mean, you're almost, I think Quark is like 80% right out of the box though, so, you've got to get him up a couple levels to even catch up there. But it's below deck, so on a mining ship, a lot of people don't even put anything below deck, just because they don't want to waste, the officers on those slots. So you just stick him under there, you mine a little bit faster. Not much faster, but a little bit faster. So, not bad. Riker's lady in the red dress. You're talking about Minuet. Ooh, going all the way back to TNG season 1 and 2. Since it's free, it's not bad for lower level free to play. And Dixon being sourceable this month for free. And again, lower levels, this will certainly help. Increasing base mining speed by 30%. People who don't have officers like Quark and stuff yet, if you're just still using, T'Pring, Barrett, and Ston as your mining crew, getting a guy like this to put below deck is valuable. You'll see a lot more value in return on that there, especially if you have, a low-level treasury. It's only between like a level 15 and 20 and things like that, and you're not getting a lot of additional extra mining speed to that. Sure, absolutely. He's probably the most useful out of the rest of the officers, because are you going to put him on there to apply burning? Most likely not. Increases your weapon damage 500% if you're fighting against a battleship. It feels like, these officers have two purposes. Purpose number one, if you don't have Strike Team, because Strike Team is hard to source or expensive to source, here is an alternative option that you can use instead of it. Or, if you're doing a territory fight and you need 5 or 6 ships in your territory, just to even take up space, you put your strike teams on your big ships, and your secondary ships, they get a Picard epic guy as their captain to give you a secondary crew option to work with. That's about the best you got. So, not overly impressed. Haven't been impressed very much with Picard in the PvP fights I have used him in. I like Beverly a lot better than Admiral Picard. But both of them are available for acquisition in the event store. So, Data Minor Slave would have made more sense than Dixon, but I get why they wanted him. Picard Riker does look pretty bad. The graphics on it make him look like he's been in a Cardassian labor camp for like 12 years. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's Tom Riker. It's not Will Riker. It's Thomas Riker, and he's been in that Cardassian prison camp for 25 years. And that's why he looks so broken down. Have we thought about that? Have we thought about that crossover timeline where it's not Will Riker who's running around with Jean-Luc, it's Tom Riker?